Okay, so this review is going to be for an English dub of a show that was actually based off an American-based show, turned into a Japanese anime, and then finally dubbed into English, though never really released into the US. Anyways, what show might I be talking about? I'm referring to the PowerPuff Girls Z, which is a fan request. Someone asked me to do a review for this one, so sure, why not? Now, before that, though, I think I should explain a few things about this show. Thing of it is that, as I mentioned, the anime originally is an adaptation of the popular show from the 90s known as the Powerpuff Girls, which, I'll admit, it was a guilty pleasure that I used to watch as a kid. Though usually I would watch it in secret because it was supposedly a girly show. But that aside, now, I'll be honest, this adaptation is not a very good one. In truth, changes huge amounts of stuff and they try to turn it into an anime, and in truth it fails pretty badly. But despite this, I will say this much. The English dub, I had very strict standards on what they would have to do if they even want to try and dub it. Among other things, other than the obvious stuff like dub the stuff accurately, like keep the script and dub the songs and maybe leave all the background music and that stuff, I kind of had a very strict requirement for the voices, which is that they would have to get the cast to return from the original show to do this new anime. Did they do this? Unfortunately not. And they didn't do some of the other requirements that an anime is expected to do. So I just want to get that out of the way. And anyways, let's start the review, shall we? Question 1. Is the opening left intact or dubbed in English? To be honest, I think they should have just dubbed the songs in English, or maybe even leave the Japanese songs as is, because, you know, it's not like the original Powerpuff Girls show never had Japanese songs. Heck, I remember there was that music video from that Japanese band, I think they were called Shonen Knife, that they like had it with Japanese lyrics and everything. It's a pretty cool song, actually. And in truth, they had no problem showing that, so I see no reason that this show can't have Japanese openings or endings. And if they can't do that, no reason not to just dub the songs in English. But for some reason, neither of these things were done, and instead they used their own stuff. So, no. Question 2. Is the background music left intact? No, I really see no reason to change the music, but for some reason they did. No. 3. Free of sloppy or unnecessary edits. To be honest, I'll admit it. This show is relatively uncensored. I mean, yeah, they edited a few content things here and there that, although I can't really vouch for the networks that they were on because they were outside the US, so I'm guessing that the edits they did make were probably standards based on the networks, so I can't punish them for that. But the weird thing is that they make some edits that make no sense. Like, I noticed this, like, just watching the first episode, there was this moment, just like 2 seconds, where Buttercup originally is skateboarding through the crowd and then finally exiting the school. For some reason they edited out the scene where she goes through the school crowd. Just skips ahead to her leaving the premise. No idea why they did that, and unless it's maybe time cuts, but either way, it's a weird edit, and they make other edits like that, so I can't give them this one. No. Number 4, free of heavy Americanization. Now this one I can actually give them, since there's been actually lots of Japanese lettering around here and there, like the dog guy. When he first transforms into a talking dog, they actually have all the Japanese letters be shown on his body. And other stuff like Japanese food, no problem. So I'm gonna actually give them this one. Yes. Number 5. Uncut version available to the public in some way. There's no DVDs available for this show, not edited or uncut. Or at least not in the US. So I really can't give them this one. No. Number 6, good voices. Remember what I said earlier about how they would have to get the original cast to come back, otherwise it would be failing miserably? Well, they didn't get a single cast member to come back, and even the replacements, most of them didn't even try to imitate the original voices. So in truth, I really can't give them this one. The only voices that are really any good are the ones for characters that are exclusive to the anime. So in truth, can't give them this one. No. Number 7, script handled well and free of obnoxious jokes added in, excessively bad translations, and otherwise unwanted rewrites. Now in truth, some of the script is changed, but only in the smallest ways, and in truth, often the changes done are to try and be more similar to the American show of the Powerpuff Girls. So in truth, it's not really that bad at all. The other stuff is actually quite well translated, so I'm actually going to give them this one. Yes. Though some of the prefixes to the characters, like the Hyper, Blossom, and Rolling Bubbles, for some reason they don't add the terms before their names into the transformations, which is kind of weird, but oh well. Whatever. Number 8. All episodes dubbed, aired, and released to the public so far. No episodes skipped, merged, or otherwise missing? From what I've been told, yes. All the episodes have been dubbed in English. There aren't any merged episodes. 52 episodes both ways. So, yes. 9. Free of name changes. Now, this one's a little bit weird because, on the one hand, they keep all the names from the original show, but for some reason, like, all the Japanese names that were present are kind of changed in a way, or at least kept hidden from us, like Bubbles, Buttercup, and Blossom's real names, which even I don't remember, I'll admit it. Their names aren't ever acknowledged. They practically make you think that their real names are Bubbles, Blossom, and Buttercup, which is kind of weird. So in truth, I'm actually in the middle on this one. I'm going to give them a half point for this, for keeping the names that were from the original show, but not really changing, but they're not acknowledging the Japanese names. So, half point, yes and no. 10. Overall, is it watchable? Let's be honest, the original show sucks. I admit, I haven't watched all 52 episodes in either language. So in truth, the Japanese version is crappy, and quite honestly, the English version is about equally as crappy, so I'm gonna give them a yes on this one, since neither version is that good. So now, with that in mind, we have a total of 4.5 points out of 10, which overall means that it's just short of being mediocre at 50%. And in truth, that's still a failing grade, but look at it this way. They did a better job than any dub of 4Kids, so have that to pat yourself on the head for. But in the long run, there's much better dubs out there, and in truth, if I ever were to see it be brought over to the US, I would hope for a redub, preferably one with the original music, and if possible, get the cast from the actual show to come in. I mean, it can't be that hard. I'm sure they're around here somewhere, right? Oh well. That's my review for Powerpuff Girls Z. See you next time.